Today I'm going to show you guys how not to rehouse an OBT.
Bruh.
Now for those new to spiders who aren't into tarantulas yet, this is Pteronoculus murinus, otherwise known as the orange baboon tarantula or orange bugsy thing. Anyway, my plan here was to pull the cork bark out with his tunnel in it and just drop it into the new one. If you can manage to do that, it normally makes rehousing things like this so much easier, but that's not what happened here. So Goku skedaddled. He popped right out of that cork bark and into the substrate below. I set the cork bark down so I could reposition, and then I just threw it out of the way because it wasn't needed anymore. At this point, I was thinking that I probably would have been better off using a transfer tube to try to get them out instead of just letting them crawl down the side of the wall. But, you know, we had to work with what we had, and we had a live OBT at this point. I did have my catch cup ready in the event that it ran out, but I definitely could have taken more precautions, and there's always room for improvement with how I do things. Nonetheless, after giving it a soft dust bath, I poked it gently on his butt and sent it blasting out of the enclosure. So I like to think I have pretty fast reflexes, but there are still better ways I could have done this part. So notice how as it flees to the left, I touch it to let it know that there's a barrier there or something living. It redirected to the other end. I moved the paintbrush over to try to do the same thing on the other side, and then it realized that the best path forward was to just go over the edge. They can grip the smooth surfaces, but it kind of just jumped out and tumbled. Luckily, it's smaller and doesn't have too fat of an abdomen, so there wasn't as much risk to it, but there's still better ways I could have done this. Another thing I should have done is add anchor points and coverage while it was still in there. But thankfully, Goku was a sweetheart and showed that OBTs aren't all they're made out to be.